Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Lex, your human guide to building digital confidence through tech tools and web design.
Welcome. Today we'll learn how to navigate the Windows desktop. By the end of this session, you'll know how to find your files, open programs, and customize your workspace. So, what is the desktop? The desktop is the main screen you see after logging in. It's your starting point for everything. So this is the background. These are your icons for softwares or programs, and this is known as the taskbar. So let's start with some key components. So the first key component I would like to point out is the start button. So the start button is where you access shortcuts to programs, files, or folders, simply just by double clicking on the icon. Another thing I like to point out is the search bar. So similar to the start icon, just to the left of it, the search bar is what you use to find programs, folders, or files you're struggling to find. So let's say, for example, I want to look for pictures. If I type in pictures, then the options of images or pictures or photos that I have will pop up. So that's without me even clicking on the start button and searching for it. And you can use the start button to do the exact same thing. If I type in pictures in the start button and I type in pictures, as you can see, it brings up all the programs that are to do with pictures. Now, the good thing about desktop is that it can be customized to your liking. So for example, I have these programs that I pinned to my desktop right now. Let's say I didn't want to search for Microsoft Word every day. I could just head over to the Microsoft Word icon, right click it, and then I can pin it to the taskbar. And as you can see, it has created a shortcut on my taskbar, right? So just to run through that one more time, you have your start button, which is always and usually located on the far left. So you use this, which opens up the start menu. You can find apps, files, or settings, or folders. So you use this to quickly search for anything you're looking for. You have your pinned apps that you may use frequently. So for myself, I have Microsoft Word, I have Microsoft Edge, which is my browser. I also have the File Explorer. Right? You have your task view. Yeah? This shows all the windows and virtual desktops you may have open. So if you don't want to have so many windows open on one desktop, what you could do is create a new desktop, or as many as you need, right? And you can interchange between them. So let's say, for example, I want Microsoft Word open on this desktop. If I go to this desktop, I might want to open the internet. You know, so instead of having different tabs open on one desktop, you can actually interchange between as many as you please. Alright? Another thing I want to mention is the system tray, which is usually always found on the far right of the taskbar. So this is your system tray, right? And the system tray displays the clock, it displays the volume, your network status, so whether you're connected to Wi-Fi or through an Ethernet cable, and it's also where it displays notifications. So you may have notifications that may pop up. I don't have any at the moment, but this is the system tray, and this is where you will find notifications, your time and date, your volume, and your connection settings. So let's talk about customizing. How can we customize our desktop? So to customize your desktop, you head over to the start button. You can either search for settings and it will come up, or as you can see, it's already pinned to my start bar. So I want to click on settings. Now let's go through our system itself. So to customize your actual desktop, first of all, let's look at personalization. Let's say you want to change the background. If I click on this, as you can see, our background of our desktop has immediately changed. The features have changed, right? I like working with dark settings, so I'm going to stick with this one. And you can further format these settings. You can change the actual background of the desktop. Unfortunately, mine can't be changed because I'm actually working for my organization at the moment. So if you're working on your personal PC and you follow these steps, you are able to change your background to an image that you like, or you can browse photos and select a photo from your actual library. So if you have images on your PC or on your desktop that you like to have as your background, you just head over to browse photos, and then you can fill the background with an image of your choice, right? You can create contrast beams. Right? You control the audio settings. The text cursor. I like this tool a lot because it actually changes, for example, back to 3 to 9. If I go into, say, Microsoft Word, open a blank document. So what I would like to show you is, as you can see here, my text cursor has changed. It's thickened by controlling the text cursor. So let me just put this up side by side so everyone can see it clearly. So, text cursor. Pay attention to my Word document. I'm going to reduce the size and the thickness. Can you see my cursor size? The thickness has reduced. It's increased. So you can control the size of the cursor. The thickness, sorry, the indicator. Right? As well as controlling the size of the cursor, you can also change the size of your mouse pointer. So you have different options. You can choose black. As you can see, it's immediately changed to black. You can choose green. But what I like the most is that you can actually increase the size. So if you're struggling with the small size, you can actually increase the size, and it works perfectly fine. I'm going to reduce mine slightly too big, but you can reduce the size to a size of your liking. You can change the color of the cursor. If you want it pink, if you want it green, it's like a turquoise color, to be honest, light blue, purple, any color of your choice. This all comes under customization. You're customizing your desktop. To make things easier, you can add a touch indicator. So let's say, yeah. So let's say you were using a tablet or a PC or a laptop that accommodates the touch screen. When you touch the screen, a circle would pop up. unfortunately I'm not using a touchscreen PC at the moment, so I can't actually show you the feature. But if you are using one at home, this feature would make all the difference. To access the time and the date on your PC, you head over to time and language. It shows you the time zone your PC is currently registered in, the time you currently have at the moment, which is actually correct. This can be changed, of course. So you can change the time zone. Maybe you might not be in London, you might be in Salvador, you know? You can adjust for daylight saving time. So, you know, as you can see, if you're paying attention to the system tray, the time and the information that usually shows, so the time, the date disappears when you toggle this off. But your system section is where you will find most key things that you need. So if you want to potentially change the display, if you're connecting maybe to monitors, if you want to change the lighting, maybe add a night light, can you see the screen changes if you're working at night? If you want to change the scale, the size of text or apps, display resolution, orientation, whether you want your PC to show landscape or portrait, as you can see it changes. This is not what we actually want. Oh gosh. So to fix it, you just press the space bar. Sorry, I had to get myself back. So to fix that orientation, press the space bar and it should bring you back to your normal view. Settings, where you can access the storage. You can see how much storage is being taken on your PC, how much storage you're using, how you can clean up some storage, any advanced settings you may need. But this all comes in system. Anything to do with improving your PC or troubleshooting or checking for storage or customizing or accounts, anything, you go into settings. Just like on a mobile phone, if you needed to sort out anything that stops you from using the phone, ideally you go into settings to try and find out how you can fix a certain problem. When you click on apps, it actually shows you all the apps and programs you may have installed on your PC. So I'm going to click on apps. These are a list of the programs and apps I have installed on this PC. If you wanted to uninstall these apps, you'd click on the three dots and you simply click on uninstall. Right? Because applications also take up space. So depending on how much space you may have available on your PC or your hard drive or your laptop or your tablet, you may find yourself coming into apps to clear some space and maybe potentially deleting apps that you don't use as frequently. And this is where you come to apps, and then potentially you might click on uninstall. And yeah, that's the app side of things. Accounts, let's talk about accounts. So accounts is where you'd find, so this is my name, X, is where you find your personal information about the desktop that you're using. So for example, your account could be registered with an email address. If you're using Microsoft, your account may be registered with a school organization, you know, that you're working with. So as you can see, I'm, working for my organization at the moment. So I'm using my organization's email to connect to my Microsoft account. So you do have other options to sign in with your personal email, but I tend to keep my personal email on my personal PC, and then my work email, I just leave it as is. If you're having any network or connection issues, we head over to network and internet, where we'll see if our internet is actually connected there and there on the spot or not, or whether there's any troubleshooting we may need to apply. You can, I'm not using Wi-Fi at the moment, as you can see I'm using Ethernet, but if you are using Wi-Fi, you can check the connectivity of your Wi-Fi, you can see if it's on or off, you can further check the hardware properties to see what Wi-Fi you're connected to, and so on and so forth. Let's come out of this. You can add a VPN, you can connect to the internet with a mobile hotspot, you can put the PC on airplane mode, which stops any wireless communication, so you won't be able to use any internet if your PC is on airplane mode, right? And that's pretty much it, really. Those are the basics you need to know in regards to navigating around a Windows desktop. So as long as you know how to access your apps or your programs, or the start button to be able to search for your programs, or the file explorer, which is here at the bottom, it's normally at the top on the taskbar of every Windows desktop. You can right click to unpin it from the taskbar, but ideally it's good to have on your taskbar because it's quick access to the documents that you may have on your PC. So for example, if I wanted to go to my downloads or my pictures or my OneDrive, so it's very, it saves you having to click on the search on the start menu or go in the search bar and type in what you're looking for. You can easily just click on the file explorer, which is what it's there for, and the file explorer simply keeps all of your files together, so it's pretty straightforward. Last but not least, another program you would find on your desktop usually is the recycle bin. Now, the recycle bin is where you find all items of work that you may have deleted. The good thing about the recycle bin is that stuff that you delete can easily be retrieved simply by right-clicking the document and simply clicking on Restore. When you click on Restore, the document goes back to where you deleted it from. So mine might have been downloads. I didn't actually write a name of that document. Okay, let me I didn't take note of the name of that document, so let me do that again. I'm going to delete this ENH1. So what we want to do is select it, we want to restore it, right click on restore, and it should be in my downloads. Yep, so ENH1 deleted last month, and I just got it back just now. Just restored it just now. Yeah, so your recycle bin is where you'd find all your deleted files if you haven't further deleted them. So for example, when I empty the recycle bin, these files can no longer be retrieved. So until you empty the recycle bin, your files will still be in your recycle bin. Anything you delete, whether it's a file in any format, a picture, a presentation, a PowerPoint, an Excel file, whatever you delete will always come to, even programs, program, software, you name it. Whatever you delete will always be put into the recycle bin until you empty the recycle bin. Everything is retrievable.